Alright folks, welcome back. This is Balatro Everyday, and today, if you want a deck ranking, we could bust it out real fast. Obviously, when you start a new profile, when you first start the game, you only have the one deck unlocked, so you are forced to play on the red deck. But even before you get your first win, you do unlock some of these other decks just by filling out the collection, discovering new jokers and consumables and other game elements. However, I would say as you start climbing, as you start attempting these higher difficulty settings, going for the gold stake eventually, I do recommend going back to the red deck to practice. I think the red deck is not as easy to win with as some of these other decks like the yellow deck and the checker deck. I think you are going to maybe not win as much on the red deck, but the point of practicing on the red deck is you develop a much better understanding of the flow of the game, the pacing of the game, a better understanding of the early game, which might get obscured if you are playing on the yellow deck. The extra money gives you a much different early game experience, or maybe you're playing on the checker deck that has a much different game experience overall. So highly recommend practicing on the red deck as you are climbing the stakes. Next we have the blue deck. Blue deck +1 hand every round instead of +1 discard. I think this is not always better than the extra discard. You don't always prefer this over the extra discard, but most of the time this is going to be stronger. If you are playing a spammable hand, let's say you're trying to spam pairs, then 25% more hands means 25% more points from your pairs. If you are trying to play some kind of higher ranking hand like straights, for example, then having an extra hand, you can use like an extra discard, you can use a throwaway hand to dig for your one high scoring one shot straight, perhaps. Also the extra hand in the early rounds, one extra hand is $1 extra every round. You don't always use all of the hands. Or if you're playing, let's say, Ride the Bus or Green Joker or Square Joker, you have these kind of scaling jokers, then the extra hand can turn into extra scaling, not just extra money from leftover hands. I think the blue deck has a very stable end game, but maybe the early game is not as stable as the yellow deck. For me personally, I would say the yellow deck has the highest win rate, and then maybe the blue deck is slightly lower than that because of the early game is just a little bit less consistent on the blue deck compared to the yellow deck. Yellow deck, because you have so much extra money, this extra money which also generates interest in the first round already. If you open that buffoon pack and you miss, if you open that buffoon pack and you find 2 rentals, you could just pay for the rental using the interest that you get from the money that you have starting, or you could re-roll if you want to get a different joker, or you can open a different booster pack if you want to open a celestial pack to make up for missing in the buffoon pack. You have all of these sort of safety features on the yellow deck. So the yellow deck, much more stable early game, and then as long as you can survive the early game, as long as you can survive antes 3 and 4, then you can figure out your end game, and then it's fine. I would say even though the yellow deck is the highest win rate for me, if you don't know how to spend this money, if you don't know how to sort of reinvest this money into other value generation and other money generation, then maybe you won't be as successful on the yellow deck. Maybe there's some kind of skill floor required there, minimum amount of skill required for the yellow deck. So I would say the checkered deck is much easier for newer players to get access to, easier for newer players to understand. Here, if I tell you, okay, we've only got 2 suits, this makes flushes very easy, then you have a direction. You have a starting direction, okay, do this thing. On the checker deck, if you get the game pieces that support this plan, support this flush plan, then you are going to have a very easy time because you have a huge head start as far as making flushes. If you don't get those game pieces, let's say you get things that support playing straights instead, or things that support playing 2-pair instead, then you could do that, except now if we compare the checker deck to the yellow deck, you start 2 rounds behind economically, where the extra suits in the deck, or rather the fewer suits, the hearts and spades in the deck, don't contribute towards your straight plan, don't contribute towards your 2-pair plan. or even you just don't have the extra hand of the blue deck, don't have the extra discard of the red deck. So maybe there I would say the checker deck doesn't have as high win rate as the yellow deck, but for newer players, you're not really concerned about win rate necessarily. You just want to get 8 wins. That's it. One at a time, 8 wins, even if it takes you 20 tries per stake. I just want to win on gold stake one time. This is going to make that one win feel much better, feel much easier. If we go to, let's say, the abandoned deck, I really love the abandoned deck. I like that if you have 12 less cards in the deck, only 40 cards, the starting deck, this is kind of a blank canvas. You can build whatever you want. You can play straights very consistently. You can play full houses somewhat consistently. Maybe you can even go for a 3 of a kind build on the abandoned deck. Personally, I like the flush house build on the abandoned deck. It's pretty easy to get the one suit changer, which evolves a full house into a flush house in ante 1 or ante 2. And then because you start at only 40 cards, it's not that hard to get to the point where you have few enough cards in your deck that you actually get to see all your cards every round, draw all your cards every round, draw the same exact 5 cards every round, and that can be very powerful on the abandoned deck. The one difference between the abandoned deck and of course all these other decks, in the early rounds you are usually relying on the face cards for the extra chips, using the higher ranking cards, higher ranking flushes, higher ranking straights in order to get those one-shot hands in round 1, and sometimes in round 2 you're looking for, against the boss you need 600 points, so you're looking for 2 300-point hands. You don't get to do that on the abandoned deck. Also, because you don't have kind of this economic safety net of the yellow deck, you can take this money, you can invest it in a couple different directions, and then if one of those directions doesn't work out, that's okay, because you still have these other investments that are stewing. Compared to on the abandoned deck, you really just have to pick a lane and stick with it, which can be tough. So you kind of have to learn how to read the signals. What is this particular run? What are these shop offerings? What does the game want me to play this run? And then commit fully to that. Can cause, I would say, makes the abandoned deck a little bit challenging for new-ish players, but for me, very rewarding. My personal favorite deck is the Zodiac deck. So the abandoned deck, of course, has a huge head start with the deck building. The Zodiac deck, you start with a standard 52 card deck. You don't have the extra discard of the red deck. You don't have the extra hand of the blue deck. What you get instead, you have Overstock and you have Tarot Merchant. You have extra options. You have extra deck building power. You have the tools that you need in order to get there in the end. So you can kind of build whatever it is that you want to build. I really love that about the Zodiac deck. I think the Ghost deck is also fairly consistent, very high win rate on the gold stake because of this Hex card. Just 50% more points. Sometimes that's the same as having 50% more hands, right? If you are just playing pairs or maybe 2 pair or whatever, instead of having extra hands, each hand scores slightly more, 50% more. Can make the end game on the Ghost deck fairly stable, if you can get there, if you can survive to the end game. Also, it's just kind of fun to have the spectral cards on the shop. But anyway, rant over. Zodiac deck is actually my favorite. Let's see what we can build. We could take an investment tag here. That's something that you don't normally get access to. Let's do it just for fun. Against the big blind here, we do now have to figure out how to get 450. So we can start by going for spades. I have 3 pairs. I have queens, 3s, and 2s. I think I'm going to keep going for the spades, throwing away the 2 pair. This is not great. Play pair 4s. Okay, we have... I could play a straight, sorry, not a straight, but a flush. I'm going to play the lower flush so I can keep the queen as a pair. Maybe we get 3 queens here. I could do 2 pair queens and jacks. We could dig for hearts. We don't have a whole lot of hearts left. Let's throw away the 7. Alright, 2 pair one more time will win. If we go 2 pair kings and 5s. Ship it. Another way that you can win the big blind, you can do 2 pair first and then play the flush after. The reason why I didn't do the 2 pair first is because the pairs that we had were low pairs. Pairs of 2s and pairs of 3s. Alright, we can do some fun thing like this. We can take the hung man here. We can take a buffoon pack. Let's start with the buffoon pack. This will give me information. We could take a free roll here. We could take a golden joker. Between the two of these, probably the golden joker is going to be more powerful long term. Okay. Do I need this? Do I need this wily joker? Do I need this earth card? I could open a celestial pack for some other different kind of offering. If I take the earth card, I can one-shot the boss with a full house. Passing on the hung man here. Could take wily joker. Wily joker instead of the earth card. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go next. I have 5s. Let's dig for more 5s. We can win with 2 flushes. We could do a spade flush. We could do a clubs flush. We could go for the 3 of a kind. 3 of a kind would win. I'm going to try 3 of a kind. Queens and 5s. Ship it. Okay, 37 bucks. We are off to a banging start, I want to say. Okay, so question. Would you rather start off a run with golden joker and investment tag and start out with 30 bucks here, 37 bucks here, or would you rather have in round 1 and round 2 have something like the bus or the green joker, these kind of plus mult scalers? If we got the bus in the first shop without skipping for the investment tag, maybe we would have plus 8 molt by now, and then after beating the next round we would be up to plus 12 molt maybe. Or if we do have all of this money, how do we leverage the money? How do we make the money work for us? So could use lovers to enable a flush draw, but the flush doesn't really do much for us in terms of points. I think you always take Arcana for money. Here we can choose Judgment, looking for some common plus mult joker. It doesn't even have to be scaling, just any plus mult joker. Devious joker is not what I was looking for, but Devious joker helps. I can win the next round with 2 straights. If I can draw 2 straights, which I don't think I can. I think I'm going to reroll here. We can take Lustful Joker for hearts. So Lustful Joker, you don't have to play a flush. You could play a straight that has 2 hearts, and that would be enough. We could take a rough gem here for the money. Probably I'm not willing to commit to that right now. Let's go next. Okay. Actually pretty close on the straight here. We just need either a 5 or a 10. I can play the 3 9s. We do have Wily Joker, we do have Lustful Joker. I don't know if that wins. I actually am pretty sure that doesn't win. Let's go for the straight. Maybe now full house with plus 6 molt. Maybe that works instead of the 3 of a kind. Maybe the 3 of a kind would have worked. Maybe I was just being paranoid. Okay, now we got 10 bucks here. We get a death card. See how fun this is? Tarot Merchant plus Overstock. I could do death. I don't know what I want to do with him, but I want to take it. Do we want a Jupiter card? Probably. If I have Lustful Joker, I should take Jupiter cards and then save our money for interest. Let's go next. Alright, so maybe now we do go for the hearts. Ship it with the hearts. I think what I want to do against this particular boss, we only get to play 1 hand, right? So if we get the hearts flush, we win. If we don't get the hearts flush, we lose. We only have 2 discards to find the hearts flush. I think I'm going to use the death card against the boss to guarantee the flush so we don't die. I want the buffoon pack. We can take Monty Hall. We can take Michelle here. Monty Hall, we get a random Joker tag. This, we said we wanted to buff this to 2 random tags instead of 1 random tag. So a little bit underpowered, the Monty Hall here. I'm not going to take it. Let's take Michelle. Michelle is great. Do I want the seed money? Sure. So now, okay. Now that we got Michelle, maybe the safe thing to do, now we can play pairs for a little while. Is that something that we want to do? Now let's commit to doing the flushes. As much as I hate flushes, at least flushes are a stepping stone for flush houses, which I actively enjoy. So here we miss on the flush, but that's okay because we said we were going to use the death card to help enable the flush anyway as a backup. Do I want an extra ace? 10, 6, or 5? I'm going to say ace. I'm going to say let's turn the 7 of diamonds into an ace. And then use the emperor. So I get strength, I get devil. I can use strength on 2 10s to make 2 jacks. I could save my strength and try to enable a flush house in the future. I think I'm gonna go, let's go strength on the 10 and the 5 or the 6. 5 or 6 doesn't super matter. How about let's make more 6s? Sure. Okay, devil, I will make a gold 10, I guess. Ship it with the flush. Gold card takes us above 25. Nice. Next round we can one-shot with the same flush. We get lovers, which we can use to enable flushes and flush houses. We could take a telescope here for Jupiter cards, probably. So if I take the telescope, I will take the Arcana pack for sure. I can spin the wheel. I can make a glass card. I think I like the idea of spinning the wheel. I can use lovers to make an extra 6 of hearts. I think I want to save it for an ace, maybe. Spin the wheel. Alright, since we did get the telescope, let's take that Jupiter card and then go next. Okay, boss is extra large, no problem. I'm digging for hearts. Lovers on the ace, that's perfect. Okay. Yep, play the 2 pair, find the hearts. Okay, here's the hearts. There's no reason to... Well, Golden Joker is going to perish, so we can sell it. And I think Devious Joker is off the table. Let's go ahead and get extra dollar of interest. Okay, in the next round, 1 flush doesn't win, but 2 flushes will win, or 2.5 flushes. We can go Spectral Pack. I think if you're playing pairs, you take either of these. You take Incantation or Familiar, looking for enhanced cards, looking for gold cards and lucky cards mainly, but also other kind of spontaneous enhanced cards. If I'm playing flushes, if I'm going to play flush houses in the future, I think we don't take either of these, which is kind of a disappointment. Standard pack could be worthwhile. I could be interested in picking up some more points in the form of the Chad. You can also use to retrigger lucky cards. You can retrigger gold seals, probably the best use of the Chad. I think because the wall is coming up specifically, let's take Steven as well. And go next. Alright, all we gotta do is find one more heart. And put the even card in front, ship it. Oh yeah, we have a gold card. I should have discarded for the gold card. Michelle left. That's fine. Fool for lovers. So telescope gives us Jupiter. Would you rather Fool for another Jupiter card or Magician? I think the Jupiter card is the safe play. And then the Magician can try to give us money. Let's go next. Alright. One more heart. Okay, I probably enhance an even card. Let's go 6 and ace. Ace because now I have 3 aces of hearts. 6 because it's even. We have Steven. Let's go ahead and ship it. I actually don't know if this one-shots, so maybe we don't waste a discard. We did get the plus 20. Okay. We can go for more hearts. I have a full house. I can put the 3 in front. For Lustful Joker, that should be enough. Okay. Next round is 9,000. Yeah. Face cards are debuffed. Yeah. I could use strength to turn my aces into 2s. I go Arcana first, looking for money. I get the Hung Man. Okay, so boss gonna debuff my face cards. Maybe remove 5 of spades and Queen of diamonds. Okay. Is this going to be a Wii run? It is honestly a little bit late to pick up the Wii Joker, but it's not impossible. Yeah, sure, why not? Go next. Alright, also we do have, I will keep saying this over and over again, Overstock, Tarot Merchant on the Zodiac deck. We can build a 2s deck. We can find the technology, for sure. We can go for more hearts here. We can go for more hearts. Give me a 2 of hearts. We get a 2, but it's not hearts. Keep the 2. Okay. Play the 2 because of the Chad for the extra chips. Okay, play the lucky cards. Let's put the 6 in front and ship it. Okay. 2 more rounds on Steven. We can take an Emperor here. Fool for an Emperor, I get Sun. I could just use the Sun and copy it with the Fool and make a bunch of hearts. That seems like a pretty compelling idea. I could open the Arcana pack and copy something else with a Fool. I could save my money here. Maybe we save the money this time. Maybe what we're trying to do this time is we're trying to get the 2s and turn the 2s into hearts. Let's see here, 13,000 points, I think. Yeah, what if we throw all these away? What if we throw these away? Okay, so ace, 2, 4, I can use Sun. Not quite a flush house. which is okay. Maybe I don't play the ace, but I play the 4 because it's an even card. I want to put the 2 in front. I guess I still hold on to the fool and ship it. I need a strength card to turn my aces into 2s, and then we're really cooking. One more round on Chad and Steven. Oh, I guess if I played the 3 aces, I would have gotten the chips from Wily Joker also. Not that we needed it, but we could have. We probably don't take the driver's license as a rental this early. If I got it later, I would take it as a rental. We could take the traffic light, but it's perishable, so maybe we don't do that. There's a Jupiter card. I could copy the Jupiter card with the Fool, or I can use the Fool for more deck building with the Sun cards. I think I go Arcana. Okay, here, would you rather Sun or Hermit? I think we take the Hermit. So we take the money. Fool gives me another Hermit. I can take Jupiter. I can take Hone. I know the Telescope will give me another Jupiter card. Use the Hermit. Now we could do a little re-rolling if we want. Replace this Wily Joker. I could spin the wheel. I could take Walkie Talkie for 4s or 10s. I think I'm probably not going to want to do that. We could Hold Your Breath as a source of chips. Maybe seems not the most important thing that we need to do. Hold Your Breath gives you chips when you play more hands. More hands gives you more chips, and then you reset it by discarding. It can't go past 180. I think we got chips from Wee Joker. We've got level 7 flushes. Let's not take this. $6 is okay. We could go one more. Jupiter card. I could take Hack to go with my Wii and retrigger my 2s. Also retrigger my 4s of hearts. It's expensive, but I think actually that's the thing. I think that's the move. I think we use Hack here. I'm not going to spin the wheel yet. I'm going to wait till my 2 perishables. Let's go next. Basically, draw hearts. I have what is probably a winning set of hearts, since we got all of those upgrades. I get a 3, I get a 2. Let's play the 2 as a solo for the chips. Let's play aces 6, 4, 3. Putting the lucky card in front for the Chad. Let's go ahead and ship it. Yum. All right, Chad is out, Steven is out. Let's spin the wheel. Yeah, bummer. Strength is perfect. Okay. I want Wasteful Voucher. Corgi destroys random consumable cards and then gains +3 molt for each card destroyed. This we buffed to +4 molt, and we are considering buffing it to +5 molt. +5 molt every round is pretty strong compared to, let's say, the Bus or the Green Joker. But getting the consumable cards so that you have them to be destroyed is a little bit challenging sometimes. Oh, by the way, we did change this, not destroy all consumable cards, but change it to destroy random consumable card, just one random consumable card. I think that's a little bit more engaging. All right, Celestial Packs, we have the Telescope. So let's take Jupiter here. Now I'm at the point here, round 11, we're about halfway through the run. If I did have Flush House unlocked, if there was a series card, I could consider taking series instead of Jupiter if it was offered to me. But we're not there. So let's go one more. We can take Temperance here. Permanent marker prevents my wild cards from being debuffed. Probably not going to be relevant. I could take temperance. I can go one more. We could get a trading card. Okay, I don't have Steven. I don't have Chad. Probably in the next round I need 2 flushes. I'm okay with 2 flushes. Alright, permanent markers out. I could take popcorn as a perishable in the short term. Seems fine. Let's go next. Alright. I no longer have Steven, so I don't care about even cards. Maybe I don't care about face cards either. Maybe I snap off a jack here. Okay. I could play a flush. I did get the extra discard voucher. Okay. Is the one flush going to be too much? Is it going to be 25,000? I don't think it's going to be 25,000. But maybe I still want to get another ace for me to use my strength on. Maybe. Or is it okay to ship it this one? Let's go 1. Great. Now I want more hearts. I get an ace. I get a 2. I think I throw the 2. I guess what I could do is I could use strength on the ace here. I could throw away the gold card. Let's throw away the gold card. Yeah, if I go strength on the ace and the king. Sorry, king becomes an ace. Ace becomes a 2. I can play the 3 2s while I'm digging for hearts. Get the retriggers on the hack. Great. Okay, 49 cards in the deck. We get hallucination as a value generator. I think I'm going to keep popcorn to help me score. I'm going to check what is the last tarot card we used was strength. So I will go Arcana first. If I get a Fool, I'll take another strength card. If we don't get strength, we can use Empress on the 2 hearts rather than making a gold card here. The thing about playing flushes is it's hard to hold gold cards in your hand, and also you need more points playing flushes. So if you're playing pairs, you just spam 4 pairs. If you're playing flushes, you only get to play 2 flushes. So your flushes, you need to make them worth much more points than pairs, even though the Jupiter cards and the Mercury cards have basically the same scaling. So Empress on the hearts here instead of the gold card. Celestial Pack, we can take a Jupiter card. We can... I really like Hallucination as a value generator. I think at this point, maybe we only have enough Joker slots for 1 value generator. So between Trading Card and Hallucination, both of these perishable, obviously we keep the Trading Card. Here I need 2 flushes. Let's snap off a 7. Let's dig for hearts. I can play the hearts. If I get another Sun card upstairs, I can enable a flush house. Maybe that's what I'm trying to do. Actually, probably that's what I'm trying to do. I can dig for a flush. I can play a full house. Full house, can I get 2,000 points with the full house? Maybe. We do have Wii is already 144. Let's ship it. Okay. So the last card we used was Jupiter. So I'm gonna go Emperor first. Moon and Priestess. Let's go Jupiter from the Celestial pack, and then we'll go Arcana. Alright, could spin the wheel, could make some Molt cards. I think I want Emperor here. I'm looking for more deck building. I need Sun to turn my 2s into hearts. I need Strength to turn my aces into 2s. Emperor. We get a Hungman. That's actually pretty useful. Justice card is pretty useful. I could re-roll. The reason I'm not going to is because I already have 2 tarot cards. I don't mostly save your rerolls to find tarot cards. Here we only get to play 1 hand type. We can hang the 3s. We can snap off the 5. We need a flush, so we're going to throw away this 2. I need hearts here or else we lose. I can make a glass card. So I could use the glass card now. I could save it for my either a 4 or a 3 for the hack. I think I'm gonna go glass jack. And maybe we can smash and ship it. I'm expecting this doesn't win, and then I need another hand. It needs to be a flush. One more time, I need 1 out of my 8 hearts. I also have a wild ace, so I have 9 outs here out of 19 cards. Half of my cards are hearts. Let's go ahead and ship it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 of hearts, ship it. 192 on our Wii. Next round we need 60,000. We could do with 2 flushes. We could use DNA. The tricky thing about using DNA and of course trading card is trading card costs us a discard, which is already dubious. DNA costs us a hand, which is also doubly dubious. Long term, of course, DNA, if you get a lot of copies of a card, then it makes your draws better in the long term, but in the short term, it can be kind of spooky. We could go back in time, but that would cost us a hand, which is also kind of spooky. I think I do want to go back in time. Currently, we need 2 flushes to beat the small blind. We need maybe 2.5 flushes to beat the big blind, maybe. And I don't know, I think does -1 hand, that lowers the scoring requirements to where I can win each round in 1 flush instead of 2 flushes. So maybe -1 hand is worth it. And then gives us more time to cook. I think I'm not going to take the DNA. I think it's a little bit too risky. I am going to go back in time. I am going to check an Arcana pack for money. We get the Hungman for the 5 and the 9, or the Jack, I guess. How about the 1, 5, and the Jack? Hang them. Alright, Mega Spectral pack. We can put Aura, Gold Seal. Okay, we could get more aces here. Alright, this wild ace, what's the boss situation here? -1 hand size, let's go Aura. Foil is fine. Gold Seal. Okay, I need a strength card to turn the ace into a 2. Obviously, we could have put the Gold Seal on the 2 and then re-trigger it with the hack, but the 2 is not hearts, so the odds of us playing the 2 go down. Yeah, you could use DNA to just spam 2s of hearts, maybe. Maybe I don't need this popcorn. Maybe because we went back in time, because we know we can win with a single flush, maybe I actually can do DNA. I want to get the flush house unlocked. We can snap off the 3. We can dig for our 2s. Passing on this 2 of spades. I would like to get a 2 of hearts. Alright. question. Do we copy the gold seal ace because it's a gold seal? Do we copy the 2 because it's a 2? Probably we copy the 2. I can play a 2 to grow our Wii. I can play a pair of 2s here. I want to make sure with my telescope, my most played hand is still valid. Okay, I can play these aces. I can play a 4, which we can retrigger with the hack. Let's go ahead and ship it. Really need a strength card. Nice. Next round is going to be 37,000, so we need more than just the 1 flush, maybe. Celestial Pack still gives me Jupiter cards. Do we want the Jupiter card here? I think we're okay without it, and actually we want to save our money to pay for the hack rental fee. Here we can snap off an 8 of diamonds. Okay, the jack probably does what we want it to do. Alright, let's do this. Let's keep the 2s. Let's go play the 2 of hearts. Okay. I can play these 3 2s. I can play a pair of 2s. I can play just the high card 2. Let's go singleton 2. Alright, the 2s we can retrigger with the hack, so we get a little extra from Lustful Joker. We can finish with a glass card. That should be enough. Trading card is toast, which is actually fine. We want access to our discards. We want more points. We could take a Showman. Showman to try to get another hack. Probably not going to happen. So let's go Magician, Arcana. I can use Judgment. I'm going to save the Magician so I can enhance some cards for our hack. Credit card. I think we go next here. I think we can beat this boss. Alright, lucky 2s. Right? Using DNA here could be kind of spooky, could be kind of dangerous. Let's go ahead and ship it. I'm pretty sure I need 2 flushes. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure we need 2 flushes. We do have the lucky cards we can retrigger with the hack. 352 on our Wii. Alright, discard looking for hearts. One more time, hearts. Alright, we got it. Okay. Let's discard the 9. Okay, did not get the flush house. I guess not really that I was expecting to. Let's go ahead and ship it with the 4. We can retrigger with the hack. Ship it. This this wild ace has come up a lot. I gotta say, this wild card has come up a lot. We probably don't want the farmer. Farmer, you get money for having a certain suit held in hand. Suit changes every round, except if we're playing flushes, that becomes difficult to do. We could take the espresso, but it would require us to skip. We could skip for 30 bucks. I think at this point, maybe it's too late, too dangerous to skip. We could take the observatory. Then Jupiter, we get more points from the observatory. The next round we do need 60,000, so we're gonna do 2 flushes. All right. Devil, Empress. Empress I could do on the 4s or the 2s. I could use Judgment for potentially some more points. Yeah, maybe. Scary Face is not it. I will take Jupiter. I could look inside the standard pack, but I don't know if there's that much that I would be interested in. Maybe just a blue seal. It is a jumbo. I want to re-roll. There's my strength. I could do a flush 5 instead of a flush house. It's harder to do the flush 5, and that's usually why I go for the flush house, is because it's easier. Huh. Let's go one more. She's back. Great. In that case, go next. Okie dokie. So what do we got here? We've got the boss says first hand face down. I can use strength on the aces to make 2s. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. What if we discard? What if we draw a bunch of 2s? Yeah, what if we copy the gold seal with DNA? And what if we play all these? Ship it? That's it. Alright, Mega Celestial Pack guaranteed Jupiter, but looking for Eris. It is a Mega, so let's go Jupiter first. Let's go Eris second. We could open a standard pack looking specifically for a 2 of hearts. We could be looking for a blue seal. I think I'm just going to roll. I could take an extra discard. I could take Drunkard instead of Lustful Joker. I could take, maybe instead of DNA. Nah, we'll stick with DNA. Fool for Eris for points. I will take Fool. You could hold on to it and try to get a Hung Man would be best, or maybe a Death card would be great. Hierophant, I think, is going to be a no. Could spin the wheel. Passing on Rental Hallucination. Uranus, Saturn, Photograph. Nope. All right, spin the wheel. Let's go next. So we can just discard. I got a 2. Okay. I can discard looking for more 2s. Probably the flush 5 is not going to happen. Copy the gold seal. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, we got the glass card. Let's go ahead and this is just a normie flush. Let's go ahead and ship it. If I am playing flush 5, every Eris card gives me plus 50 chips, so maybe Wii Joker is not the most important long term. Cool. 2 standard packs, I'm going to skip them. Hermit, yes. Hung Man, sure, why not? We could take Invisible Joker. Am I ready to go Invisible instead of the DNA? 46 cards in the deck, and of those 46 cards I have 9 2s of hearts, if I'm counting the wild cards as 2s of hearts. 12 2s total, 20 hearts total, 23 if you include the wild cards. I kind of feel that I still want to hold on to Lustful Joker for points. Maybe that's wrong. I kind of want to get rid of the DNA, and then maybe we can copy we can copy Hack. Even Cavendish would be a good copy. Nah. Alright, oops, nope. $10 rerolls. Empress. I can use the Empress on some more 2s, I guess. I do have the Observatory. I'm currently holding on to Jupiter for the Observatory. So maybe let's go next. First hand face down. That's rude, but I guess survivable. I'm going to sort by rank and then keep the low cards in case the low cards are 2s. We have 2s of hearts here. I have this king. If I sort by suit now, I have some potentially non-hearts, some low cards that are not hearts. This face down card could be a 2 of clubs, but is more likely to be a wild 2. Okay. What happens if I discard these? Alright, 10s, I'm going to hang them. I'm going to go DNA here. The only bad hit is if it's a 2 of clubs. Ah, beans. Can't win them all. At least it's a 2. I can still get a sun card. Crystal Ball is great. Boss has base chips and multi-tabbed. Alright. Magician is okay. Chad is great. We can take Chad instead of Lustful Joker. Obviously, Chad is a combo with Lustful Joker, but I want to use Chad for our Wii, and I still want to do DNA. I feel like we have the ability to do that. For the Arcana pack, 7 and Queen here, we can hang them. Basically, anything that's not a 2, we can hang them. Maybe with the Magician, I go ahead and use it on the 2 before we hang them. Oh, maybe I'm supposed to use it on the other 2, even though it's not hearts yet. Anyway, Temperance here is okay. Passing on a glass card. Re-rolling for we could get Prideful Joker. Prideful Joker gives us plus molt for all of our wild cards. This is one of our modded Jokers. Honestly, as a negative, that's one of the better looking negatives. That's pretty nice. $8 reroll, sure. We can go next. Base chips and multi-tabbed maybe doesn't matter as much if we got we. I'm gonna discard the 2 of clubs. Haven't seen a sun card in a really long time. It's kind of sad. Let's just discard looking for 2sies. Alright. Copy the 2. Ship it. Oh yeah. Oh no! Wait a second. Wait a second. Prideful Joker. That was too much that was too many points. Maybe next round will be better. Let's go Death here. Celestial Pack. Telescope guarantees Jupiter, but we take Eris instead. We have 44 cards in the deck. We could re-roll. Go one more. One more. Ambrosia gives us spectral cards when we skip. So let's not skip. Let's go next. Alright. I have a bunch of 2s. I have different flavored 2s. Let's get that wild too. There we go. Did we determine that was too many points? Man, foil with the Chad, maybe that's also part of the problem. Let's go 4 here, copy it with death. Ship it with the 2. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Putting the gold seals in the front. Ship it. Plus 12 molt for each wild card, and then we can retrigger it with the hack and the Chad. I still think this number needs to be bigger. We are changing it to plus 18 molt per wild card, but definitely in this particular instance, the plus 12 is quite nice. We can do a little re-rolling. Hierophant we don't need. Mercury, no. I'm just looking for hung men. I'm looking for, I could use lovers on 2s here. Here's the thing about the lovers card, right? Obviously making 1 suit change, making 1 wild card, that's not as exciting as getting a sun card. Sun you could do 3 at a time, but if I get a moon card that makes clubs, that's useless to me. If I get a star card that makes diamonds, that's also useless to me. If I get, let's say, world that makes spades. There are a lot of tarot cards that are useless to my current build. Whereas lovers right now, even though it's not as good as a sun card, it's better than all of those options. I could take campfire here, could take lustful joker, retrigger with the Chad. We could probably get rid of the DNA. We probably have enough 2s to do the thing now if we want to do the thing. Yeah. I would say, okay, here we're in ante 7. We have however many rounds left until the end. I would say the highest win rate play, the thing that's going to be the most successful is you drop DNA, you pick up the campfire. Campfire will give you times 10 molt in ante 8, and then it's an easy W. All right, let's reroll for more tarot cards. Permanent marker, wild cards can't be debuffed. Well, I don't think we need to worry about that anymore. We can go one more. Take an Eris card. We could get rebate on 2s. Seems like a bad idea. Let's go next. All right. I have a 2 of spades. Now it's a 2 of hearts. I will discard. Okay. Okay, one more time for a 2. All right, play the wild 2. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got the lucky 2 gold seal we can put in front and then ship it. That's it. All right, so the flush 5 is only level 5 compared to a level 13 flush. We do have the telescope still, so we can still get those Jupiter cards from the Celestial packs. But 50% more chips, equal amount of molt, I guess, with the level 5 flush 5. All right, we don't need Supernova. We can take an extra discard here. We can take Strength for those last aces. There's 2 Arcana packs, so we reroll for tarot cards first. We probably don't care what the boss is. Boss is going to debuff random jokers. That's okay. Let's go one more. All right, I kind of missed on the tarot cards. Fool gives me lovers. I don't want, probably temperance and then copy it with the fool. Here I will use strength on the 1 ace. Here I can go temperance. I can go use the fool for more temperance. We've got a nice amount of money now. Before we go Mega Arcana, let's do a little re-rolling. Yeah, sell DNA, pick up an extra hand size. That could be very useful. Or we can take a magician. We can hang them. We can use lovers. Yeah, so aces and kings, I can use magician here. I can save the magician for, I don't know. I have a couple more twos. I'm going to use the magician now so that when I hang him here... wait, do I want a steal too? Do I want a steal ace? Maybe instead of the lucky ace, should have made a steal ace. Yeah, maybe. If we've got Prideful Joker giving us so much plus molt, we actually want to have a steal card. Yeah, that was a waste. That was a waste of a magician card. Not that it really matters. Let's go one more. Justice here. Don't need the traffic light for ×2 molt. Don't need the espresso. Let's go next. Okay. We can discard for, there's twos. Discard again. One more time. Okay, so we got a bunch of these twos. I am going to make a glass two. I can play the 1-2 without winning. That's the concern. Can I play it without winning? And I think the answer is yes. If you copy the glass two wins. So let's not play the glass two. Right? Gold seal in front. Ship it. Okay, Chad is got one more round. Temperance for 19 bucks is fine. We could look for an heiress card because we do have the observatory. Fool for temperance again is also fine. I could take a lover's card for 3 more twos. Werewolf, played cards become wild cards. Well, enhanced cards become wild cards. For example, my twos, my lucky twos, I can turn into wild cards. I would get molt from the Prideful Joker. Prideful Joker has one more round. Bummer. Not today. Not today on the werewolf. Let's say we got this 2 antes ago, right? You would use the werewolf on... I've got the 4 lucky twos. I've got a glass 2. We can convert those. And then that's it. The cards that are not already hearts, maybe I don't want to convert them. Maybe I don't need to convert them. I would just make my hearts into wild cards. What is the benefit of making the hearts into wild card if they're already hearts? If I make them into wild cards, then in addition to being hearts, I can also get some other kind of synergistic jokers, like not the common ones, but the uncommon. The uncommon gem jokers, the jokers that care about suits. You could also get Ancient Joker. Ancient Joker, of course, a rare joker, but it gives you ×1.5 molt for every wild card that you have. An interesting thing about this, using the werewolf to turn the, if it's already hearts, into wild cards. If you do encounter a boss that's going to debuff a certain suit and it's going to debuff your wild cards, your hearts are still hearts. So you don't actually lose anything unless you have some joker that cares about that, which maybe we don't care about our cards being debuffed. Not every build is going to care about debuffs, whereas the wild cards could be useful to us. And there's not that many bosses that give the debuffs. All right. We could take strength here and then go Arcana. Fool for temperance is a good reason not to do any moves here. Maybe we sell the Jupiter card and we just use the Fool instead of strength. All right. I could go Arcana. I could probably do a little bit more re-rolling if we want. Maybe since the Chad is going to perish, maybe we get rid of it. Maybe we get rid of the... Yeah, bummer. Pick up the dirty napkin. Do I want the bean? I could take the bean instead of... No. Go one more. Eris? Maybe we hold Eris upstairs because we have the telescope. The observatory. The problem with holding on to Eris is now I can't find Eris in the shop. So by locking this in, basically what I'm saying is this times 1.5 molt from the observatory is better than however many Eris cards that I would get from the shop from re-rolling. And that's probably true, to be honest. I could use Eris here and then copy it with a Fool. Or I could use Fool for Temperance and just give me money. I kind of want to use Lovers on this too, so I'll take an Eris card here, it's fine. And then use Fool to ship it upstairs. $12 reroll, let's go next. Okie dokie. Maybe strength doesn't matter. Okay. I could... You know, maybe we don't need all these twos. Maybe we just want the gold seal twos. You know? Hey, look, an ace. Use my strength. Get out of here. Okay. Nah, beans. I could have copied the steel card. I wasn't counting on that. Alright, copy DNA. Ship it. And then let's hack them. Ship it. Okay, 1100 on our Wii. Okay, so Jupiter we could take, Duo we can take instead of this DNA. Sure. Eris upstairs means I can't find Eris inside these Celestial packs. Prideful Joker's toast. Oh, maybe I should have kept Prideful Joker because this boss gonna debuff random Jokers. 120 bucks. If we use one Eris, probably we can find another one. Especially if we find a Fool card. Celestial pack, there's Eris again. 3 Eris cards is worth 50%, right? Use Jupiter. Use Eris. Reroll for a Fool. Okay. Troubadour helps with the flush vibe. Could take another Lover's card. Okay. Sun, finally, after all this time, it does exist. Turns out. We could get that Ancient Joker. C. Ancient Joker instead of. Let's see here. You know, 1100 on the Wii. Pick up an Ancient Joker. What about Magician? No. What about could take a Chad here. Okay. Yeah, how about... Yeah, I don't think we need this anymore. Let's go next. Alright. My Duo is disabled. Bummer. Okay. Ancient Joker on clubs. Interessante. We can play the flush 5, I guess. Ship it. Yeah, that was okay. Alright. So here's the thing about Zodiac deck, or you know, here's the thing about flushes. You can always play 4 pairs. You can play a pair 4 times. You can usually play 2 pair 3 times, sometimes 4 times, but not always 4 times. You can always play 2 flushes. You can usually play 3 flushes. You can't usually get that 4th flush. So you need 3 flushes or 2.5 flushes to score as much as 4 pairs would. Or what you can do is you can, one of the benefits of unlocking the flush house, usually I like to go for flush houses because the 1 flush house will score just as much as 2 flushes, maybe just as much as 3 flushes. Even if the flush house is just equal to 2 flushes, you can still play 1 flush, 1 flush house. Every round, 1 flush house. And that's still better than higher scoring than 2 flushes or 2.5 flushes or whatever. And of course, if you get the planet cards, then the flush house ramps up very fast. So we saw, okay, the flush 5 when it was level 5 with just 4 planet cards was 50% better than the flush. And then now when we have the 8 planet cards on the flush 5, still not as high level as the flush, but you have 2.5 times as many chips, and I guess only slightly more molt. Not that much more molt because the Eris cards only give you 3 molt per Eris card compared to 2 molt per Jupiter card. But the chips are a big difference. Usually you get the molt from your jokers and you get the chips from your planet cards because there are more jokers that give you molt and less jokers that give you chips. All right, here obviously we had kind of a wacky run getting the DNA that sort of accelerated. We had the rapid fire deck building, being able to spam a bunch of 2s, being able to get the flush 5. Normally you can't get flush 5. It's really tough to get enough cards of the same rank and the same suit, exactly the same card. Of course, DNA makes it much easier, but in general can be pretty tough. So let's say we didn't go for the flush 5, then I think we still had a pretty reasonable chance of doing flush houses with aces and 2s. Or we started to do 6s, we could have done 6s and aces and 2s. As our flush house build, we could have, instead of using DNA as sort of this value generator slot, we could have used DNA as some other kind of scoring joker in that slot, in order to sort of bridge the gap between playing flushes in the early game and then being able to play flush houses in the end game, being able to have a high enough flush house. Here, even without the blue seal giving us sort of the absurd number of series cards that we did on the flush house runs, we got the blue seal here. Without it, still relatively low level flush 5 could be relatively low level flush house instead. Just the 8 planet cards, only 8 planet cards, still very powerful, still super worth it. When we had the Wii Joker, we got it all the way up to 1,000 chips, but 1,000 chips is just a ×3 Joker, right? Its base is 500, and if I add 1,000 on top of that, that's a ×3. I think with the wild cards here, one drawback of the wild cards is this sort of opportunity cost of, if I turn a card into a wild card, then it stops being something else. It can't be anything else. It can't be a lucky card for money. It can't be a gold card. It can't be a steel card. It can't be a glass card. But maybe I didn't want it to be a glass card anyway, because glass cards break, and maybe that's bad for me. Here we did strategically make a few wild cards, and those few wild cards can kind of make the difference, can help complete the build, complete the flush house. You use the suit changer, the sun card, to change 3 of the 2s, and you use the lovers to change the last 2, or same with the aces. You convert as many aces as you can with sun, and then you use the lovers on the last one. Lovers is not going to be as strong as potentially, maybe making some lucky cards and maybe making some glass cards, but it is going to be better than Star or Moon or World or whatever the other different suit changes are. There's the one suit changer that you care about, and now all of a sudden there's 3 suit changes that you want to avoid. And then Lovers is going to be better than all of those. Here, in making these wild cards, there wasn't really anything else that we wanted to do with our enhancements. So like in theory, okay, yeah, if I make it wild, then it can't be anything else. But here we didn't really need to make anything else. We didn't really want to make anything anything else other than wild. I did have a couple of aces and then turn them into 2s. We did have an opportunity with the gold seal here. I could have put the gold seal on a 2. I forget if it's spades or clubs, but it was a 2 that was not 2 of hearts instead of the ace, but I chose to put it on the ace because it was already wild, because it was already hearts. And then I could strength it up into a 2, turn the ace into a 2. You can kind of go either way on that with the gold seal, whether we wanted the hearts or whether we wanted the 2. Anyway, this is what I love about the Zodiac deck. Having the Overstock, having the Tarot Merchant, having the deck building capabilities. All of these gold seals came from DNA. If we close our eyes and ignore all of these at the bottom, all of these diamonds, we still have a pretty good setup with the 2s, the lucky 2s, all of the hearts here. And these aces, previously aces, could have made some kind of flush house build. Lucky cards enable Ancient Joker. Ancient Joker is a rare Joker. It's not going to matter all of the time, but if you do get it, then maybe lucky cards are not so bad in that very narrow circumstance. Take care, everyone.